Burrow. Toss down. Myles Garrett gets home.
So what's happened all game long? Stop it there. Where are you going to go? You got nowhere. As soon as Joe Burrow's looking, he's on his horse because the pressure's there. And Myles Garrett is the one who gets home. One of the top sack guys in the league.
And using Delpit at the line of scrimmage.
Tannehill from the gun. Henry hammered. Myles Garrett making first contact. They lose 3.
Yep, and listen, Tennessee has played against 2 really good fronts so far this year. The Saints with Cameron Jordan in game 1, and then last week with Bosa and Mack.
Boy, how crazy is that stat? First time that this Cleveland defense has had to play in their own red zone. That football is loose. That's a live ball, and Henry falls on it. It was Myles Garrett jarring it loose for the Browns.
Covered by Tennessee.
Yeah, right off the left side. And Garrett, once again, he's just working one-on-one with Dillard. And, you know, a lot of the pressure has come from the tackles and that left side. Dillard has had his troubles, who has played against some terrific. This is a legit front 4, and so far, whether it's Henry or the offensive line, they haven't been able to stop him.
On 3rd and 11, Tannehill crushed. Okoronkwo and Garrett coming with some heavy heat for the Browns.
Owusu-Koramoah, who really sets the pick. Watch Koramoah as he comes inside and he gets that penetration, and that's the pick right there. Away from Denzel Ward, who is up here.
On 3rd and 10, Garrett burying Tannehill. Disaster for the Titans as they come up empty.
Just, you know, Dillard on Garrett, absolutely no chance. And what could have been just a great way to go into halftime, to walk away with no points.
That's what you want to hear from your top defensive players. They have been off the charts. Here they come again.
There's
Garrett around the corner. Tannehill somehow out of the end zone to avert what would have been disastrous.
It's just a great tandem. Garrett off of this edge, and then on the other side is Zadarius Smith with power. So you got the speed of Garrett coming off the edge. You've got the power of Zadarius Smith, who's pushing Hubbard back, and then Garrett's
2 seconds average time to pressure. They get there.
Jackson goes down. Myles Garrett on the chop.
And the speed to get there. Look how quick he is. And Patrick McCary has no chance to keep him out of the backfield.
So the Ravens have 1:20 to work with now. And Jackson gets crushed by Myles Garrett.
And Baltimore tried to chip him. But watch the intelligence of Garrett. Oh, you want 2 on the outside? I spin inside, and I grab your quarterback and put him on the deck.
It's a loss of 9 on the play.
The ability to adjust and adapt. And Myles Garrett did it right there. Saw that they were waiting for him upfield.
118!
Multiple tight ends. McCaffrey in trouble, and he is stacked up and is going to lose a couple yards.
In the top couple of most of the major statistical categories, you see there the early penetration. No team in the league better at creating.
3rd down. Lost the football. It is loose. As you said, that ball getting slippery. Purdy got it back, but now they're definitely at a field goal range.
I mean, that thing clearly comes out. He's lucky he was able to recover and at least give their team a chance to punt. But these last two attempts to pass, if it continues to rain, this is something to keep an eye on.
2nd and 10.
118!
McCaffrey. And he is swarmed.
Uncharacteristically, we mentioned to Myles Garrett. Watch him here. This little spike inside, that's the initial penetration.
As this very impressive start for Indianapolis continues, and here comes that Cleveland defense. Garrett knocked it loose. Who's got it? At first glance, it appears as though the Colts have recovered. Now they say Cleveland football.
Here we go. I'll mention him, Spiro. Myles Garrett. Look at that little move that he puts on Ryman, who has been solid. But remember, last week it was Josh Allen really changed the game for Jacksonville on a similar speed rush on Ryman. force the sack fumble in that game. Jacksonville was able to take that. Has found a home here in Jim Schwartz's defense, playing up near the line of scrimmage like a linebacker.
Well, apparently for Shane Steichen, they're not out of field goal range. Matt Gay is blocked. That's a live football. It's picked up Denzel Ward. Shane Steichen rolling the dice. They attempt a 60-yard field goal. Myles Garrett the block.
Right over, doesn't touch anybody, perfectly legal, gets his hands up and makes a play.
That just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Minshew from his end zone. Here comes Garrett. Football's loose. Who's got it? Cleveland. It's still loose. No signal yet. Touchdown. Tony Fields.
They got a tight end and then a tackle, and it doesn't even matter. Chip, bump, whatever, that's not going to happen. And Freeland's got to do a much better job of it looked as if Freeland didn't even account for Garrett, just kind of stuck his right hand in there. Not going to happen. And Freeland's got to do a much better job of it looked as if Freeland didn't even account for Garrett, just kind of stuck his right hand in there.
Myles Garrett, devastation here in Indianapolis. 4 tackles, 2 strip sacks, and a blocked field goal for good measure. Minshew, quick delivery. Garrett knocked it in the air. Boy, that one was up for grabs as Garrett continues to wreak havoc.
First of all, just great recognition by Garrett. And then I thought Tomlinson, look at number 94. I thought he was going to see it. If he just turned around, he doesn't see the ball sitting in the air, he would have had a chance.
And Cleveland, meantime, trying to get to 4-2. Moss broke the initial tackle. Boy.
3rd down and long. Smith trying to climb the pocket. He gets swallowed up. It's Myles Garrett finally putting his stamp on this game with a huge sack.
That's the big part. You're exactly right, Adam, because you're going to watch. He's got a double team right there, and it's actually the pressure generated by Obo Okoronkwo coming from the right side right there, number 54. That makes him hold it, step up. That gives Myles Garrett the time to finish the sack.
So they can have any shot at moving the ball down the field.
Fake handoff, Tune. Football is knocked out. Live football. And Cleveland has it with Garrett.
Really a great effort. And really, you can't really fault Clayton Tune because he's expecting the backside to be able to hold up. And so he sets up, he goes to throw the football. And
since he became the head coach, and he said all he thinks Murray needs is you see Tune take another big hit. Said all Murray needs.
The guy from the Chiefs has more touchdowns than Mark Andrews.
That's some guy named Travis Kelce.
The guy from the Chiefs. Jackson sacked back at the 46.
But this is great pressure by the defensive front for the Browns. Watch all 4 of them. They get up, and now once you get up there, you collapse the pocket, and it allows for Myles Garrett to get in there. And
so a depleted Cleveland secondary following the sack. 3rd down and 17. Jackson in trouble. So a depleted Cleveland secondary following the sack. 3rd down and 17. Jackson in trouble. Down he goes again. 2nd straight play, Myles Garrett. The Browns pulled to within 7. And then some huge defensive plays. Back-to-back, Myles Garrett.
Highsmith and Watt. Steelers won the game 26-22. Look out! Kenny Pickett gets drilled by Myles Garrett. But they are determining he was not in the end zone.
And what Cleveland did was they blitzed the nickel defensive back, and created an opening and a one-on-one for Myles Garrett, who works inside of Dan Moore, the offensive tackle, and dumps Kenny Pickett. They thought it was a safety.
Harris shifts out of the backfield. Protection for Pickett. breaks down, and Pickett is thrown down by Myles Garrett.
Was exemplary in the back end. He wants Calvin Austin going across field, and they double cover him. They read it well, and that allows the rest of the rush to get home. Myles Garrett's going to add to his statistics on this one. Getting a little bit of help from Maurice Hurst as well. Grant Delpit also coming.
The throws to the halfbacks out of the backfield have been money, so just an errant throw.
On 2nd and 10, Williams, who was checked out on the sidelines for a neck injury, back in and is stopped for a loss on the play as we get a game break from Carissa Thompson.
And the Jaguars trailing 14-0. Give it to Etienne again. This time they swarm.
They're just going to get a refill. They're ready for the fourth quarter. They know all about this.
Pitch play, Herbert, nowhere to go. Snowed under by Myles Garrett.
Trade and blows, but watch him beat the seal block inside by Cole Kmet. Number 85, Cole's got to pin him down no matter what. Pre-snap, if you have to get a little bit closer, get closer, but you can't let that guy blow up the play. That's
14-7, Houston has it, 1st and 10 at its own 33. Give it to Singletary, and he's tossed down by Garrett.
Because they, as you mentioned, are on the backside of the tiebreakers with Indianapolis and Jacksonville.
Spun down, Damian Pierce.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this guy's as good as I've seen.
Meanwhile, Simeon gets sacked back at the 18-yard line.
And this is what's going to happen. He's right in front of you. Watch this move to the outside. Little stutter step. I mean, this guy is as big as you can think he is. He's 6'4", 275 pounds, and moves like he's 240 pounds. Just a mismatch, and you know how excited he is to finally get another sack.
There's Laramie Tunsil back in the game. Great news for Houston. Handed off Damian Pierce on a misdirection, and he loses to Owusu Koromoa, the leading tackler for this Cleveland defense.